Hello, and welcome to the first devlog of an upcoming game called 3E516. So, first of all, briefly, what is 3E516? Basically, a short story-based game in our own post-apocalyptic universe, and I thought it would be a cool idea to document its creation. And so, let me show you how the first week on the project looked like. Day 1 is probably the most basic project start that you might imagine. I made a test map, which you should be able to see in the background. And later, to make it easier for me to see if my player controller is actually moving, I colored it a bit, and it's 100% not a Windows logo, don't worry about it. So it took me a few minutes and I ended up with a pretty basic character controller which could walk and jump. Afterwards, I spent some time tweaking the animations because I didn't want the camera shake to be very visible, and I also added the ability to crouch. Then I spent some time creating a wounded state for the player, and the video here is sped up because it would simply take too long. Next up, it's 4 am and I decided it would be a good idea to make the crosshair. I wanted it to have two stages, as it is supposed to change its look when aiming at an interactable object. And here you can see how I prepared it inside of the Unity itself. After having some sleep, I created a placeholder intro sequence for the game itself. Right now it sounds a bit shit, but it will do. So, on day 2 at 1 am of the next day, I've got the most basic terrain from our level designer, and here you can see me implementing the intro to the level, and excuse me if nothing is happening on the screen for brief moments, as I had the script open on my second monitor and was switching back and forth. Next up, I wanted the character to lay down on the ground after the supposed crash in the intro, with the need of pushing a button to get up, kinda like you can see in No Man's Sky after creating a new game. So here we can see me implementing it and the whole animation process. Afterwards, I took some of the textures I had laying around on my PC and slapped them onto the map just to make the visuals a bit better. And half an hour later, here's how the intro sequence looked. Fast forward another hour or so, at the end of day 2 I implemented post-processing into the game just to make it look a bit better even at this stage, and I also added a skybox to the map. Sorry, I forgot to record it, but on day 3 I transferred the project over to high definition rendering pipeline, and on day 4 I added ray tracing support to the game. I took a break on day 5 and got back to work on day 6. Okay, so straight up we can see a difference in visuals, and I decided that the active crosshair should use the same texture as the normal one but be slightly bigger, and I made it so the crosshair changes based on if you're looking at an interactable objects, and 10 minutes later I had a fully working interaction system. And here you can see how the intro looked at the end of the week. I don't know why, but the footage was lagging and it ran fine on my end, so yeah, here you go. So yeah, that's how the game looked at the end of the first week. During the second week we're focusing on creating the map's foliage and rocks, and creating the first enemy. I hope to see you again on the next devlog, and thanks for watching.